Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Christmas in May. Yeah, it's the 25th of the month again, and I have a Christmas layout for you. Today's layout, I'm going to use this photo right here of Hope and the Grinch. I'm going to use three different ferns and holly leaves. Tim Holtz, Gina Marie Designs, and Diamond Press. And then I am going to use that Elizabeth Craft design border, and I'm going to use the little gnome. And both of these alphabets, one's Tim Holtz, one's Scrapbook.com. And I thought I'd use some stuff out of here, but I don't think I end up using anything out of there. It's a bunch of die cuts that I already have put together, fussy cut stuff, and different things. I decided I'd use a white background. I considered green, but my Grinch is green and I was going for that. So then I considered some mixed media, and finally I just decided to leave it white. I am making the face of the little gnome that is going to be a Santa Claus green, although you're not going to see very much of it because most of it's going to be hidden. And I'm inked the mustache and the beard so you can distinguish the two. And I also put it in an embossing folder so it wouldn't look quite as flat. I put a couple of eyes in there, and you will be able to see them at the end, but barely. By the time I get that hat on, you can hardly see it at all. The nose, of course, is green, and I inked it. And if, in hindsight, I would have cut a white piece out for the bill of the hat, so that when I put the little flowers, these are flowers. It's a very old punch with little tiny flowers. When I put it on, I wouldn't have had to put quite as many, but I was trying to cover the whole rim. Maybe I said bill a while ago, did I? I don't know. But the rim of the hat, and so I did have to put more than I would have otherwise. But I could have put some white on there. So if y'all have a gnome, you might want to put white underneath your little ruffle thing there, furry thing, furry. It's furry. And there's his belly. And this little gnome set has the tiniest arms and legs. And in hindsight, again, I was really rushed making this layout. I went and got my car inspected and licensed and done a couple other things. And this has to be due tomorrow, goes up tomorrow. So I am trying really hard to get it done and edited. And my internet has really been bad the last few days, so it'll take hours to upload. And so I was in a hurry, but his hands should have been green, looking at it while editing the video and looking at the photo. And his little legs should have been green. But I was not thinking, and I made them red and black because that's what I had done the other times I have used this little gnome. I would leave the boots black, though. The Grinch in the photo has red, well, they look kind of like elf boots, but they're red. But I would have still went with the black. I'm making a little ruffle fur, it's fur around the belly, and I'm also going to put one button on there. This gnome die set comes with a couple extra things, so you can change your gnome up a little bit. And he makes a really good Santa, though. I highlighted it, and now it's done. I am going to use some Echo Park paper, and I'm putting two pieces on there. I just cut the one scrap down a little bit more is what I done. And I'm putting one on the other side. I also use the We Are Memory Keepers. This is a Christmas bow uh, border punch. And I'm putting it on both sides. And of course, I'm doing it in the bright green like the Grinch. This is the Elizabeth Craft Designs border punch. It's snowflakes. There's two different ones in there. And I believe this is a larger one. I believe. Don't quote me on that though. And I'm going to put it on top of the green and have it kind of go over a little bit into the red and down both sides. I am cutting off the little strand things that look like they're going off the page because I wanted them to end in the snowflake. Usually I have them go off the page, but this time I didn't want it to do it that way. I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to put my little Grinch, but I knew I had to get my photo on there and my title. So I'm kind of moving them around, trying to figure out how I'm going to get them there. And I started to go ahead and put my title down. And I thought, no, I better get my photo down first. And when I went to put it back on, I thought, oh, I need to move it over a little bit. So I did. And my how there, it's going to get moved down a little bit too. While I was working with it, I put the other letters on and then I moved it down. But this is where it does end up staying. I'm going to put my little guy on some foam tape because I want to tuck some stuff in behind him. And I wanted to be able to do that basically. And I thought if I had the foam tape that I'd be able to. However, his little hand, I had to lift it up, move it around, and everything else. And I was worried the foam tape was going to be showing at the end, but it don't. At least I don't think it does. I went and pulled some scraps. I wasn't sure which one I'd end up using, but I decided on this striped. And I'm going to use a little bit of that green one too. But I'm going to put a couple of gifts beside him. I want to put some greenery there. And when I first started to put it on there, I thought his legs are just too skinny for me to tuck any greenery behind them. I got to do some tucking with something else. So I am putting the gifts down for that reason so I can tuck. And one of them's going to be on foam tape. And I did switch out that one ribbon because I wanted two different ones on there and I had two of one of them. And the greenery is just going to kind of tuck behind there. I showed the dies earlier and it's Tim Holtz Festive Greenery and then the Diamond Press Festive Christmas. I think it's called Festive too. And also some Gina Marie dies that are pine branches. I'm using my larger and smaller punch for snowflake, and I'm going to kind of tuck them in here and there in the greenery. And that's my Martha Stewart punch, and it's pretty old, but it still works great. And it's called a pine branch, but it don't look like these die branches. So I am tucking it in there just for a darker color for one, and to add a different shape and size in there. Like I said, his legs are just a wee bit on the skinny side. So I am going to tuck some greenery right next to him and still have it tucked underneath the presents there. And I decided I needed a few more snowflakes. And I will need more than that, I think. I may not have punched enough out yet. I am going to put a cluster in the bottom left of the photo. And I first thought I'd just put it right on the corner and I, if I'd thought of it, I would have just cut out another bowl, a bigger one, because I think it would have worked. But instead, I'm going to make another present to put there. And it works okay too, but if I'd thought about it, I would have done a bow instead. Oh, here's where I thought I needed a little more over here. And so I'm using a different one. It's a Tim Holtz one, and it's kind of like a pine spray just to give a different shape over there because my leaves were all pretty much looking alike is what the thing was. And I seen that and I thought I'll put a little bit on each side and that way I will have another shape. I really wanted to use that diagonal red, but I decided to use the matching multicolored stripe instead, so it matched the one down there on the bottom, right? And I was planning on putting another little green present in front, but I think I forgot. I it's not there anyway, so I think I forgot. But while I'm doing that, I want to talk about the photo. That is Hope. And I know y'all have if you've been watching the videos, you've seen the Grinch, which was my son dressed up. Well, this one isn't my son. It's a different costume and everything. And it is a woman, and it was a woman from her preschool. And she did not want her picture with the Grinch. But she got it anyway because they wanted all the kids to get their picture with the Grinch. So my title is How the Grinch Stole a Christmas Hug. Well, it's just because they told her to go ahead and go over there and get it. And oh, the way she can tell the story, much better than me. But I'm tucking all my greenery in there, and of course my little snowflakes, and I'm about done with my layout. I was trying to decide what I could do to add a little bit more, and I'm actually going to pull out my rhinestones. I cannot remember the last time I used my rhinestones, so it has been a while. So the smallest ones are going to get the smaller ones, and then I'm going to use the next size up for the all the rest because I'm going to go ahead and put some in the snowflakes on the border too. But while I am doing that, I want to mention that down there below you'll find the links to everybody else that are doing the Christmas in May. And they could or could not be doing a layout. They could be doing Christmas cards or even a Christmas craft. So anything Christmas to help them get ahead for this next Christmas or catch up from the last Christmas. But that's it. That's my layout. My little Grinch Santa Claus. And there he is close up with his green nose. And see, he would have looked cute with at least green legs to go with that green nose. But he does have plenty of greenery beside him to make up for it. And there's my other little cluster, and see how the legs are all nice and green, and my legs should have been green on mine, and the little red shoes instead of boots. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. And thank you all very much for watching my video today. But have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.